Hi everyone. So today we are going to see part 8 of the lesson transportation in animals and plants. So in our last class we have discussed about the animal transportation in animals and especially in human beings. How the waste nitrogenous products are excreted in human body, what is excretion, what are the excretory organs involved in that excretion process, everything. So today we are going to see about transportation in plants. So like animals, even plants also, they are also doing transportation. So I repeat, till now we have covered all the transportation mechanisms in animals, isn't it or not? Yeah. So now it's a turn for plants, because today we are going to see how the transport is taking place in plants. So let us see how exactly the transportation happen in plants. So what do you think that is needs to be transported in plants? What is going to be transported in plants? Which substance is going to or needs to be transported in plants? For this question, the answer is very simple. First say, what do plants need? In some of the cases, not in some, most of the cases, plants need water, isn't it? See, if we stop watering the plants for few days, what happens? In most of your home, definitely you will have a small garden or something, isn't it? If you didn't water for the plant for a few days, the plants start drying up, isn't it? And they even die also. So water is very important. So it is also one of the need. So just I'll come back to the question. What do you think needs to be transported in plants? Water. Water is the main thing which is needs to be transported in the plants. And the second one is food, because it is a thing which is needed by the plant. That is why they undergo the process of photosynthesis. We know that plants prepare their own food with the help of sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water. Could you remember the photosynthesis process? Yes. Plants are preparing their own food with the help of photosynthesis. So imagine they are also preparing food. So that food is also needed by all the parts of the plant, isn't it? So the second important thing which is need to be transported is food. When we talk about food, light and carbon dioxide is also included, because for the preparation of food, sunlight, water and carbon dioxide is needed. We already discussed about water, so the remaining thing is light and carbon dioxide. So basically light, carbon dioxide, chlorophyll, all these things are needed for the preparation of food. But when we talk about transport, we have to say only the water and food. Okay, because these are the two things which is needed by each and every part of the plant. I repeat, water and food are the two things which is needed by each and every part of the plant, which means every part of the plant, that is root, stem, leaves or branches, needs water. Similarly, every part of the plant, that is root, stem, leaves, branches, needs food also. So that's why I'm saying the things to, these are the two things, that is water and food are the two main substance which are needed to be transported in plants. So now when we say food, food contains all kinds of nutrients which are needed by the plants, isn't it? Because like us, when we are digesting the food, the nutrients are absorbed by the small intestine and they are transported to all parts of the body. isn't it? So because the nutrients, all the nutrients are there, especially when we talk about the nutrients, other than nutrients, some minerals are also needed, like we can say calcium, potassium, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, magnesium. These are all what? Minerals. So these minerals, and there might be present in the soil also. Okay, so the food contains nutrients. Other than the nutrients, the minerals are present in the soil. So from the soil, it is needed not only by the roots. See, water is absorbed from the soil only. We are pouring the water. Even though we are pouring the water, the roots will absorb the water, isn't it? And I told that minerals are present in the soil. So root is the only part which are in contact with the soil, that is ground. So roots, what they will do, they will absorb the minerals. Do we think root alone need this mineral? Whether the leaf, whether a leaf or a branch or a stem or a flower, they don't need, they don't want that minerals. Do you think like that? No. Each and every part of the plant need all the minerals, all the nutrients and all, isn't it? So all these are needed, each and every part of the plant. So then we also need to ensure all these things get transported to different parts of the plant. Okay, so because when we talk about soil, we know that root is the only thing which are in direct contact with the soil. So basically that's what I told, water from the soil and minerals from the soil, both are present in soil. Okay, and we are pouring the water, that also we used to pour in the soil only, that are absorbed by the roots. So they are, because roots are absorbed directly, they are in contact with the soil. If I want the minerals to reach the leaf of the plant, then how will it go? By the transport mechanism. So imagine human, even our human also, all parts of the cell need oxygen. But lung, even though lung is the respiratory organ, all the cells need that oxygen, isn't it? So what the oxygen will do, that bind with the blood and it transport to all parts of the body, that is every cell from top to toe. Like that, even though roots absorb minerals, all the parts of the plant needs that mineral. So it transport, so it has to be transported. So transport mechanism will carry the minerals from the root to all parts of the plant. Similarly, when we are talk about food, we know that food, what is the where is the food preparation takes place in plant? Leaves, because leaves contain chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the pigment which is present in plant that will trap the sunlight so that photosynthesis will take place. So the main the food preparation one takes place in the leaves. Even though leaves are responsible for the food preparation, stems, root, branches, flowers, all the things need that food. So the food which are prepared in the leaves has to be transported to all parts of the plant. So there also plant need transport mechanism. So who is going to transport all these things? That is the next question. So now we agree that definitely plants also they need transport mechanism, especially for transport water and food. Okay, now this, what is the next question? Who is going to transport all these things? That is the next question. Oh, so before getting into the question, at the same time, we also agree to fact that plants require somewhat lesser energy while comparing animals. See, even animals are also preparing the need energy by the means of respiration process, but plants also need energy, but not that much amount of energy needed how in animals, because plants, they are not moving from one place to another place. So there is no need for that much of energy to do any activity. So So even though plants need energy, their requirement is somewhat lesser while comparing to animals or human beings. Okay, let us see what do we mean by internal transport in plants. See, I hope I already discussed this internal transport in circulation. Have you remember the transport taking place inside the cell is internal transport. So here also we are going to see the same thing. We know that important needs of plant. What are the plant's main two need things or needed? Water and food, isn't it? So water is present finally in the soil. That is why if you water the plants, we put water on the soil, because soil particles have good capability to hold water. Soil particles have good capability to hold the water, and then plants can absorb water through their root hairs. Root hairs means very very small hairs which are present on the sides of the roots. Okay, so what the root hairs will do, they will absorb the water from the soil when needed. When there is a need of water, so root hairs at the time they will absorb the soil. And the second thing is food also need to be transported, isn't it? So the food preparation is taking place by the process of photosynthesis. And where does the photosynthesis takes place? In the leaves of the plants. So now the question, who helps to transport these things, that is water and food? For that we have to study about the vascular bundles, because vascular bundles are the thing that is going to transport water and food to all parts of the body. So in our human body, blood is the thing which is going to transport, isn't it? It's a substance, it's a fluid which is going to transport all the things, that is gaseous exchange, digestion, nutrients, hormones, waste products, everything is going to transported with the help of blood. So in plants, vascular bundles are responsible for this transportation. So vascular bundles are nothing but it's a combination of xylem and phloem. Vascular bundles are called nothing but xylem and phloem, which help to transport in plants. So like human beings, similarly plants, xylem and phloem are tube-like structure. So blood is travel inside the blood vessel, and blood vessel is a tube-like structure. Have you remember? Like that, xylem and phloem are also tube-like structure. That is, we can say tube-like vessels, which is going to carry water, food, and minerals also, because from soil it also absorbs minerals, I told. So water, minerals, and food are transported with the help of these xylem and phloem to various parts of the plant. So now we are going to look at the functions of the xylem and phloem. So first, when we talk about xylem, the job of the xylem, is to transport water and minerals absorbed by the roots from the soil. So xylem, what it will transport? Water and minerals. It won't transport food. It transport only water and minerals. So how this water and minerals are absorbed? With the help of the roots. Roots only absorb the water and minerals from the soil. Then the xylem transport these water and minerals to all parts of the body. That is, not body means not about our body, the plants. Okay, so roots are in direct contact with the soil. So with the help of the root hairs, this transportation takes place. And they are very thin branches coming out of the roots. They are called root hairs, I told before itself. So xylem ensures water and minerals absorbed by the roots to other parts of the plant. Okay, and a very important thing is the phenomenon of upward movement of water and minerals from root to aerial parts is called ascent of sap. The ascent of sap is very important because ascent of saps means it's an upward movement. Imagine roots are absorbing water and mineral from the soil, and root they are present below. If you take a tree, imagine a tree, stem, branches, leaves are present on the top side, and the roots are present under the ground, isn't it? So what the roots will do, it to absorb the minerals and water. Now what it has to do, this is the help of xylem. The roots are going to transport this water and minerals, what it is absorbed from the soil, to all parts of the plant. But imagine that movement, that is the movement of water and minerals, no, it's going to be upwards, isn't it, from root to all parts of the body, all parts of the plant. And but obviously all parts of the plant are present on top of the root, so that movement is upward movement. But imagine anything, if imagine a ball, if you are throwing a ball upward, what it will do, it will going to be come down because of the gravitational force, isn't it? But here also water and minerals are going to transport from the root to top, that is by a upward movement. But what happens, imagine the xylem is a unidirectional. Uni means it's a one way. It's in one. It's going to travel in only in one direction. So there is no way of return of the water and minerals back to the soil. So xylem and flow. Sorry, xylem is a tube-like structure. Is going to transport the water and mineral from the root to all parts of the plant as an upward movement. That upward movement is called ascent of sap. See, ascent meaning anything which is moving up. Ascent meaning anything which is moving up. Sap meaning a fluid like material which contains dissolved nutrients. A fluid which contains nutrients, no, that is sap, and that nutrients is going to moving up, so it is called ascent of sap. And I told that it is unidirectional, that is it going to transport only in one direction, that is down to up direction. Okay, now we are going to see about the phloem. As I told, xylem transports only water and minerals. So what about the next thing? Food. So phloem transport only food, and we know that food preparation takes place in the leaves. So from the leaves to all parts of the plant, the food is going to transport with the help of phloem. And what about that transport, the phenomenon of transport of food from leaves to other parts, no, that is translocation. Because roots are present down, so that definitely that nutrients and water is going to move above the to this top of the plant. But here leaves, in leaves only food preparation is going to take place. Even roots need food. While comparing leaves and roots, roots are present down, so from the leaves to roots it will transport, that is from top of the tree to down. Even above the leaves also, some, it might be some branches or some flowers are there. So from leaves to again top of the leaves or flowers are also need that food. So here no unidirectional, it is multi-directional, because otherwise we can say it is a bi-directional. Bi means it's a two-way, it's not a single way, because preparation of the food takes place in the leaves, roots are present down, so it has to travel down also. Some other branches might be present on top of the leaves, so even from the leaves to top of the plant also there, so it's a multi-directional way. So that is called, the transport of food from the leaves to all parts of the plant is called translocation, because it is bi-directional. I hope you have something you have understand about the xylem and phloem. So xylem and phloem, if I ask you to make the difference, you can write easily. Xylem it transports water and minerals. Phloem transport food. And xylem, the way of transportation movement is upward movement, but here it is a translocation. The upward movement is called ascent of sap. Here it transport the food, since it is translocation. Xylem is a unidirectional, but it is bidirectional. Okay, and now we are going to talk about the very interesting thing. What is transpiration and what is transpiration pull? See, when we talk about transpiration and transpiration pull, um, do you think we are pouring water to the plants every day, isn't it? Do you think whether all the amount of water what we are putting on the soil, no? Do you think all the water are absorbed by the plants and all the absorbed water are used by the plants? Can you understand my question? See, we are watering the plants. Do you think all the water, that is, what are the imagine I'm pouring 2 liters of water for a rose plant, okay? Do you think whether all the 2 liters of the water are absorbed by the roots of the rose plant, and all these 2 liters are also utilized by, which will transported to all parts of the body, all parts of the plant with the help of xylem? Do you think? No, because there must be some loss of water will take place. Not all the amount of water is going to be utilized by the plant. The excess amount of water is going out of the plant. It's definitely it will lose some water, excess water from leaves. Even though we are pouring water and even though roots are absorbing the water, the loss of excessive water takes place only on the leaves of plant by the process of evaporation. That is called transpiration. Okay, because leaves are having some small pores, that is tiny pores are observed, that is nothing but stomata. With the help of this stomata only a gaseous exchange taking place. In photosynthesis also we have seen, have you remember, with the help of that stomata only loss of water, that is transpiration, taken place. Okay, even though water is absorbed by the roots, the loss of water taken place only on the leaves by the process of evaporation with the help through the stomata. That process is transpiration. What is transpiration pull? As I told, xylem are responsible for the upward movement of water. Root absorb water and that water is going to transport to all parts of the plant, isn't it? And I told that it is against gravitational force because of this transpiration pull. See, if I get water from below, the plants get water from the below parts and it pulls water up, and that pull is called transpiration pull. See, in this picture you can see here a picture. In this picture a tree was given and roots are embedded within the soil. So now first what it will do, if I pour water for this tree, the roots start to absorb the water, and that water and the minerals present in the soil both travels through xylem and it will go to all parts of the plant. The excess water, what it will happen, it will lose with the help of evaporation, by the process of evaporation with the help of stomata which is present on the leaves, and that pull, the force which pull the water from the roots to all parts of the plant, that is called transpiration pull. Okay, so today in transpiration transport in plants, we have seen what are the things, why transport is needed for the plant, like animals, human beings, plants also need to transport for the purpose of the growth, everything. Okay, what are the things going to transport? Water and food and minerals. Who is going to transport this? Vascular bundles. What do you mean by vascular bundles? They are tube-like structures which consists of xylem and phloem. What xylem will do? It transports only water and minerals, and it is it is an upward movement called ascent of sap, and it is unidirectional. What about phloem? Phloem transports only food, and it is multidirectional because of the translocation. And what is transpiration? Excess loss of water, sorry, loss of excess water by the process of evaporation taking place in the leaves, that is especially in stomata of the leaves, that is transpiration. And transpiration pull is nothing but the movement of water from the movement of water in upward movement is called transpiration pull. So with this I complete this lesson, transportation in animals and plants. Go through the video again so that you can understand the concept well. Thank you.